Hello, everybody. I am Mark the Morris, and he is Christopherles Abandoned Delay. We are the team behind Prison Architect, and we're celebrating, aren't we, mate?
We are celebrating. We've had some
We,
incredibly good news.
we've passed an amazing milestone last month. We've got over 30,000 people now involved in the Prison Architect Alpha, which is absolutely astonishing. And thank you to everyone that's taken part. And we've got a slightly more tangible way of saying thank you that we're going to talk about a little bit later on in this video. But for now, we're going to start off with...
Well, yes, a few new features to look at actually. First things first, and I actually can't quite believe that it has taken us this long to get around to this feature. But now, from the main menu, we can click on options, right, and we have a whole new set of options.
We have a menu.
We have an options menu. And most crucially of all, under graphics, we have resolution adjustment options. You can choose the filtering that you're into, your multi-sample or super sampled, and you can choose whether it's running full screen or not. Right.
This is groundbreaking.
This is groundbreaking. I think this is a revolutionary feature in video game design, the ability to hot swap resolutions. You know,
Yeah.
it's cutting edge.
So we've done this because a lot of people have asked for it,
Yeah,
haven't
a
we?
lot of people, and you have to edit the preferences file manually right now to set your resolution,
not
which is
good.
all a bit crap. Multi-sampling gives you 4 times MSA, and super sampling creates a back buffer. It creates a screen buffer which is twice as wide and twice as high as your window resolution. So you get a really, really high resolution display, and then scales it so it all fits in your screen. It's kind of...
Did you say MSA?
Yeah, multi-sampling.
Oh, I thought it was a superbug.
No. That's MSRA.
That's MRSA. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, so there you go. Also, you can press F11 at any time to toggle full screen as well. I'm not going to actually do it because it'll ruin the video recording, but you can in fact press F11 and it will toggle between full screen and not.
People don't want to see the delights of your desktop.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows what might be on there?
Who knows?
So, what's our next feature, you may ask?
What's our next feature?
Well, our next feature is, you know how in the game it's a bit weird that prisoners can just kind of open their own doors, right?
Yeah.
Well, now they can't, right? Now guards have to open doors for them, right? So these guys coming
Good.
through here, right? They just have to
Yep.
stand there like prisoners who don't have keys to all the doors, right? And they have to wait for a guard to walk over and
Nice.
unlock it, right?
Nice. That's where they're going to do their shanking.
Yeah, exactly. They've got to ask permission first. And the thing about this is, this makes a huge difference to your prison. I mean, previously it was unrealistic because prisoners just kind of went through doors as if they were supermarket doors, you know, and they would just slide open. But it requires. Are you still there? Ah, well. Now we have a bit of an issue because Skype's just dropped the call. What was I saying?
Prisoners were opening doors.
Yeah, that's right. So what I was describing was that previously it was a bit weird because prisoners could just kind of magically tailgate through any door, and I've made this is quite a big game-changing feature really because now you have to have guards everywhere, right? So previously you could get away with having jail doors everywhere and you could get away with having just a small handful of guards, right?
Yeah.
And as long as they were able to deal with any fights that broke out, you never really needed to have guards that well distributed throughout your prison. But that is not the case anymore, because now your guards spend a tremendous amount of their time letting prisoners through locked doors, and indeed letting other staff through locked doors.
Yeah, that's as it should be.
Yeah, and there are some exceptions. The jail doors, the sort of cell doors, like these ones, they open on a timer, right? So when it's shower time, they all bang open,
Right.
just in one go. And similarly, like if you have any wooden doors, for example, if you just have like ordinary doors from the objects list,
Yeah.
where is it up here? These things obviously aren't actually locked or remote controlled or anything. So prisoners can just, or anybody can just walk through these without waiting for a guard.
Right.
So now there's actually a reason to think about balancing where you put your heaviest doors and where you put wooden doors and lower security. Because
This is going to change things a lot, isn't it?
it's going to change things a huge amount, yeah, because if you
Yeah.
have like a whole administration center, for example, you wouldn't want to tie up a whole load of guards just opening and closing doors all day long, you know?
Yeah.
So it means you have to trade off like the guard resource versus the security that you're going to get.
Yeah.
And, so it means, for example, as well, the deployment, placing guards using deployment becomes more important again, because you kind of always need to have guards wherever there are locked doors, so that they're available to unlock them. And if you don't manage it, then things like your chefs, for example, just don't manage to cook all the food on time because they can't get the ingredients in time and so on.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So following on from that then, there's now a new emergency mode. Right? If you see a lot of prisoners escaping, for example, you can go, lockdown!
Lockdown!
Right? And every single jail door in the cell slams shut.
Looks like we're missing an icon for lockdown, aren't we?
We are missing an icon. It just flashes red at the moment. And all the doors slam shut, and everybody is locked where they are. Right? Everybody's trapped there.
The Skype do not disturb icon.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So what used to happen, right, is that you'd get a load of escaping prisoners, say, and they'd be running towards the exit. And you'd go, but there's an outer door. So you were foiled, my friends. And then a cleaner would walk through the outer door, right? He would just he'd glide through it, and the outer door would open, and all the prisoners would escape through the now open door, which is obviously very silly. So now, firstly, guards will only open doors anyway, so the cleaner can't glide through doors anymore. And you can also lock them down at any time.
Right. Brilliant.
And the combination of those two together means that you can shut down escape attempts that are happening in the way that you want to, which is like, just stop everything from happening. So the other emergency mode that you can do is called bang up. This actually used to be called lockdown, and it used to be up here on the clock, but it's called bang up now, and it basically means everybody go back to your cell immediately. So as soon as you click on that, every single prisoner drops whatever they're doing and heads back to their cell. So if you have a massive fight break out in the... Oh my god, there's a shotgun. They're not meant to be in the game yet. They're not meant to be in the game yet.
Really?
Oh, well.
But he put it in the bin.
I'll put it in the bin. Yeah, the bins are the highest security repositories you can possibly get at the moment. Military spec bins. So it tells everyone to go back to their cell. And obviously once they're in their cell, you might call a lockdown, right, and lock everyone in their cell.
Do they obey it though? I mean,
only the ones that are obeying you generally. Right, so if they're fighting, then obviously it doesn't do anything to them, but it gets everybody else out of the canteen. If there's a massive fight going on.
Some complexity there.
Yeah, exactly. So the guys that are fighting, so you know that everyone that doesn't go back to their cell is definitely up to no good. Right, so that's pretty much the end of that change. That was
lovely.
Only guards can open doors. Yep. And so on to the next feature then. And this is related to the fact that, well, what you were saying earlier, really. If you bring up the main menu, there's now a new entry called Names in the Game. And this is the database of everybody who has purchased their...
There I am, I'm there. I'm there, Mark Morris.
Yeah. Well, it just happens that everyone who purchased a face in the game is listed at the top. So there's Mark the Morris, and there's your face. God, you're so
show
fat.
Show Dean McCabe, because I love his...
there's Dean McCabe.
He bludgeoned 3 golfers to death after someone sneezed.
Yeah.
And wouldn't own up.
I mean, these guys, he's actually already in the prison, according to this. So we can actually, we can find him. We can look in the prisoner list. Let's have a look. There he is. Dean McCabe. There he is.
There he is. With no golf clubs this time, I hope.
Oh, cracky. That's a bit, yeah. He just went to the poo.
Mate. That was the wrong time to... Poor old Dean. We don't skip these videos.
Really? Yeah. So what you can do... Oh, that's the wrong button. What you can do is you can... if you have your face in the game, for example, like there's me, I can click on this transfer button, right, and maybe we'll bring you in as well, Mark Morris. What do you reckon? And maybe there's Ryan Seymour as well. Ryan Seymour, of course, is the artist responsible for all of the graphics in the game, including the Polaroids and mugshots that you see. So I think it's only fitting that he be transferred into his own jail that he himself illustrated.
Bring Ryan in.
Yeah, I'm bringing Ryan in. There you go. Alistair, I think I've actually seen Alistair. He's already here. Our audio guy.
He's our sound guy.
And maybe a few more as well. Maybe like, maybe this guy. Some of them are really, really colourful. You know, so I mean, these are the face in the game entries, right? And then underneath these are all the name in the game entries, of which there are a great deal. Right? All of these are like custom names and date of births and bios as well. Now what happens is, you'll notice that up here top left, the prisoner intake now lists our special transfers, right? Crystal A, Mark Morris, Ryan Sumo, and Casper Gray. Right. So if I accelerate time, and just cheat outrageously, they arrive at the same time as everybody else. They arrive with the 8 a.m. delivery in the morning, along with the mail and, you know, food and stuff. And here they come. And you'll notice that the people that are facing the game types actually arrive in their civilian clothes.
Are you wearing a bow tie?
They arrive in their civilian clothes. Look at you. Look how fat you are.
Purple suit and a bow tie. Casper's in some tartan. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's like the idea is they've just been thrown in jail basically. So that the other guys are transfers from other jails, but these are like brand new arrivals, you know. And so they arrive just like any other prisoner, and they will be escorted into their cell. And as soon as they're dropped off in the holding cell, they get changed into prisoner garb. And and that's the end of their civilian clothes. Eventually, when we get round to having it so that people can be paroled and eventually leave jail, they'll obviously leave jail in their in their civilian clothes that they arrived in. There you are, mate. There you are in prison. Does it feel good?
Yeah, there I am, mate. Oh, it doesn't feel good.
Oh,
it doesn't feel good at all. Oh no, look, I'm in my orange overalls now. That's the end of it. But I look, am I like super fat? I'm not really that fat.
I may have set your body scale. I may have set it on the high side.
Yeah.
If I'm being totally honest.
Unbelievable.
Right. If
I'm being
brutally honest about it, I might have been a little bit You better not be about to be getting naked. Oh my God, you've got naked.
Oh, mate.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
This is the worst alpha video we've ever made. It's culminated in Mark Morris, producer of Prison Architect, naked in the shower.
Naked in the shower, being
there you go.
Like having a wash. Oh dear. And normally I take my glasses off when I have a shower.
The horror is over.
Not in this. Not in this.
Oh yeah, so on that note, then, I mean, other prisoners that don't have faces but also have bios. I mean, a lot of prisoners are randomly generated, and if you click around, eventually you'll hit upon, oh that's me, but eventually you'll hit upon a prisoner who has a colourful bio and a nickname, and this is somebody from the name in the game tier, right? This is somebody who's paid their $50 and has purchased you know, a full bio and everything. So it doesn't have their face illustrated, but it does have everything else taken from them. And I think currently about a quarter of all of them, a quarter of the randomly arriving prisoners will be from the name in the game database.
Right. So one of the things that we've been talking about quite a lot is, as I say, because we've had so many of you guys that are already in the alpha, we wanted to make it a bit easier for you to get your names in the game and create those bios if you wanted to. So for a limited period, a couple of weeks after the launch of this video, you will be able to visit prison-architect.com/upgrades.html, and you'll be able to buy that particular tier to get your name in the game for a discounted price. So head over there and have a look, and hopefully you'll be interested in doing that and kind of immortalizing yourself, personalizing a prisoner. And all of these prisoners and bios and things are going to be in the full retail, I say retail, whatever you call it nowadays, version 1 launch for Prison Architect. So it'll be in there forever, and you'll be able to say, I was one of the early ones that helped out with Prison Architect. So we hope that we'll be able to interest a few more people to come in at that price point. So I reckon this video has probably been going on for long enough, mate. I think it's probably going to be our longest video. We have
overrun quite heavily. I think that the people watching at this point must be pretty hardcore.
So with that, we'll sign off. We hope you enjoy Alpha 7, and we're looking forward to getting stuck in for Alpha 8. Cheerio.